In this video, we'll be looking at the Link 2 and Link 2C from Insta360. Both of these are 4K AI-powered webcams, and they just send these samples for review, but as always, that does not affect your opinion in any way. So this is everything we get in the box for each camera. The accessories are identical because the cameras are very similar, but we'll get more into that in a minute. Starting at the bottom here, we have Insta360 stickers. There's the user manuals. There's an adhesive pad if you want to mount it more permanently. There's a USB-C to USB-A adapter, the USB-C cable for, of course, connecting the camera, and then a clamp for mounting on top of a monitor. Finally, we have, of course, the actual camera itself, and again, the accessories on the other side are identical as well. So looking more at the actual cameras themselves, the only difference really between the two of these is this one is actually on a gimbal. So Link 2 is going to be a little bit more expensive, but it is actually going to be able to kind of follow you around and track because it has a 2-axis gimbal here. So it's going to be the only difference with these. Quality-wise, everything should be pretty similar. They do have the same brains and technical specifications. Essentially, the Link 2 is just a Link 2C on a gimbal. So just to give you an idea of the size here, it really is the exact same camera and all that. It's just on a gimbal here. The Link 2 is, of course, going to be a little bit bigger and heavier because of that gimbal. So if you're going to be traveling a lot or something, maybe the Link 2C is a better option. But again, just kind of depends on what you're going for. Quality is the same, but of course, the Link 2 will have more features because of that gimbal, but we'll get more into that in a minute. Some of the small differences are the 2C has a physical shutter that you can actually close on the side here. So we have this little switch. If you go ahead and flip this, it will actually close the shutter, as you can see, like that. The 2 has a privacy mode as well, but this actually just kind of flips down like that, and that's its privacy mode. So the actual camera isn't ever covered. Whenever you turn it off, it will just face down, so it's not going to be seeing anything. And you are able to actually physically push it down as well to enable privacy mode that way. The other difference is the location of the USB-C ports. The Link 2C has it on the back here, and then the Link 2 has it on the actual base for the gimbal here. So those are some of the really small differences, but of course the main thing that sets them apart is this gimbal on the Link 2. As far as setup goes, we're just going to be using this included mount. This is a magnetic mount, so it's going to attach to the camera magnetically, so you can of course use it on a monitor like this, but it also has a tripod threading on the back as well, which is cool. So if you want to use it with a tripod, easy to do that, but we do have rubber coating on all the surfaces, so it's not going to scratch your monitor or anything. And again, it is magnetic, so to attach our webcam, simple as clipping it on like that, and it's going to be the same for both the 2 and the 2C. You can easily adjust the angle of both stands as well because this part actually flips down, so if you wanted to have it facing your desk or something, you're able to do that, which is cool. So overall, it's a super nice stand, and from here all we have to do is plug in the USB-C cable, then we have it all set up. Once we have everything connected, we can go ahead and jump into our software here. This is not a requirement to use the camera, but it does give you a lot of control over all the features and functionality and everything like that, so I think it's good to install it, but again, definitely not a requirement. So just looking at the first 4 features we have down here, there's a desk view mode where I can go ahead and click on that, and it will just shift the camera down and actually show what's on your desk. It's a little bit off right now because I do have the camera positioned on the corner of my monitor, but if you had it in the center of your monitor, it'd work a lot better. But still does a really good job, of course, of showing your desk and all that, which is cool. We can also enable or disable AI tracking. So right now it is not enabled, but if I go ahead and click on this, then I can actually like move around and it will keep me centered in the frame, which is pretty cool. So that's of course going to apply to the whole room as well. So if I wanted to get up and walk around, if I'm in a conference room or something like that, it would actually follow me around, keeping me in frame the whole time, which is of course the advantage of the 2 over the 2C. Then we also have the whiteboard and smart whiteboard modes if you're going to be writing on a whiteboard and you want to feature that, which is cool. Then on this video adjustment part, we can manually control where the camera is positioned. We can also click and drag the screen, which is cool. So if you wanted to just drag it pretty quickly, it's nice. Of course, applies to up and down and such as well. So nice to have a lot of control over that using the software. And then we can also zoom as well, of course, if you wanted to zoom in or out, you can do that. One of the cool things is you can control that with gestures as well. So if I wanted to raise my hand, it will turn on AI tracking. You can see that the green light flashes and it does turn on AI tracking down here. So now I'm going to be centered in the frame. Turn it off, I just raise my right hand again. It will disable that. I can also zoom in or out using this L here. So I go ahead and point upwards, it will zoom in. If I go down, it will zoom out in theory. So a little bit tricky, I would say. Overall, you have to kind of position it in the frame, and it's, I don't know, a little bit gimmicky in my opinion. I think the AI tracking one works really well, but specifically the zoom in and out is a little bit off overall in my opinion. So that worked now. But specifically the AI tracking on and off I think is really useful. Just holding up your hand and it enables or disables that. And again, it's going to be software free. You don't need to actually go in and click on that. You can just raise your hand, which is pretty cool. If I wanted to do a peace sign, it will turn on the whiteboard mode. So again, a bunch of smart gestures you can do, which is pretty cool. Just rather than having to use the software, you can just raise your hand, like I said. If you don't want to control the camera via software or gestures, we also have a physical button. Pushing it once will enable AI tracking, and pushing it twice will actually recenter you within the frame. So 2 pretty useful features, and it's nice that we can enable them directly on the camera. In terms of our other composition settings, we can, make it our whole body, head, half body, all that. For the effects, I think this is pretty cool. You can actually manually control the brightness, the autofocus, the temperature, all that. There's even more settings down here if you want to really tone exactly how your image is. So overall, just a ton of control over how it actually looks. I also really like that it has this background built into the webcam. So if you're going to be using it on something like Zoom, of course they have their own, but if you wanted to enable it so that no matter what software you're using, it's actually coming through the webcam. I can enable this bokeh one, for example, looks pretty good. Or turn on a blur, and again, it's going to be for whatever software you're using because it's going to be actually running through the webcam, which is cool. In terms of the autofocus, it works really well. Of course, it will kind of prioritize a person, so if you're holding up things, it will still work. Like you can see, it focuses pretty well. It autofocuses back to me really quickly, but of course, if you're holding up something far away, it may prioritize your face a little bit just because that's what it's designed for. But overall, I found it works really well, especially, like I said, if you hold up something here, take it away. It's really fast to autofocus, like faster than I would say even an iPhone, which is really good. So autofocus definitely gets a perfect score in my opinion. Another few things in here are enabling or disabling our gestures. If you wanted to also adjust the audio modes, which I'll cover in a second, you can mess with that here as well. Another really cool feature is you're able to actually control the webcam using your phone. So if you click this button, it will generate a QR code. You can actually scan this with your phone and say you're walking on a conference room, you're able to manually have the control of the webcam. You can of course just use the AI tracking, but if you wanted to manually have control over the camera from a distance, you're able to do that on your mobile phone, which I think is really cool. The final thing I wanted to talk through is just the video and audio quality. You've been seeing the video quality for a while now. As you can tell, it's really good. I would say it's not as good as like a newer iPhone or something, but as far as webcams go, it's definitely the best I've used. It does a really good job with the software of actually like highlighting the background and the foreground and all that. I do have a pretty bright lamp on behind me, as you can tell, but it's not having any issues, still picking me up, showing the background, everything like that. So again, video quality is really good. And the next thing is audio quality. So right now I'm using it on the music balance mode, just kind of picking up all things around me. There's not much noise or anything going on, but you can just get an idea of kind of how it sounds. But I'll do a test here while I'll actually turn on this fan. You'll hear it as I start to turn on because it is in the music balance mode. It's going to pick up everything, but I'll turn on here. So you can get an idea of the sound of it. You can definitely hear it in the microphone and such. It's just a little bit annoying. I'll go ahead and turn it on to the voice focus mode. And as you can tell, that fan kind of basically disappears. So that's still on, of course. It's still spinning. I can even turn it up to a higher speed. So it's pretty loud right now, but it's not really picking it up at all because the noise cancelling built into the webcam. I can switch modes to this voice suppression mode. This can sound a little bit different. It's a little bit more intense, I would say. I think my voice is a little bit less natural in this mode. That's going to be for bigger conference rooms or something like that. Whereas the voice focus mode will be if you're actually closer to the webcam. So I'll go ahead and turn it off now, just to kind of hear what I sound like again. So this is going to be the mode most people used in. It was right here, this kind of voice focus mode. So I think it's what it sounds the best. Again, if someone's going to be eating next to you or talking around you or you're going to be playing music or that sort of thing, then it's going to kind of clear all that out and just kind of focus on your voice. So it's kind of course going to be good for presentations, good for recordings, everything like that. So the software for the audio does a really good job of filtering out noise and just really focusing on the person actually speaking to the webcam. Overall, both the Link 2 and Link 2C from Insta360 are both excellent webcams. I've been really happy with the audio and video performance, and the AI features on top of that are a super nice touch. It's also kind of odd to say, but I even really enjoy using the software for them, which is, I would say, is definitely a rare thing for a webcam. The fact that you're able to control and customize so much makes it really nice to use and really adds a lot of value in my opinion. I will say I did get really used to the gimbal on the Link 2, so I would probably recommend that one over the 2C, but if you don't necessarily need the tracking features and having the desk view and all that, then I think the 2C is still a really solid option. You can't really go wrong with either, as they're both really high performing webcams.